The difference between us is that I can feel pain.
Sounds like a real boogeyman once you Freddy's coming for you.
Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy.
There's someone else in the hotel with us. There's a crazy woman in one of the rooms.
It's got a death curse.
This isn't science. It's more like black magic.
Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper.
Well, welcome to Pumpkinhillradio. We're here. We had a lot of intros planned, and we're doing this instead.
We're just going normal.
This is Travis Wormwood, your host. I am co-hosted with and by
Me.
Dawson Trailer.
The one
So
and
maybe
only.
that's not the correct way to say that. How are we doing?
Good.
Pumpkinhillradio, we made it back.
Good, dude.
Back on the hill.
Back up on the hill.
With
We got
our
Dubby.
with
We
our
got
partner
Dubby.
Dubby Energy. That's
We're gonna cheers
Dubby.gg. Cheers.
You heard that on mic.
Yeah. Got our got our orange cream drink there.
Orange cream. Basically mango. Mango's a
It's mango orange cream, isn't it? It's
mango
good.
orange cream. Nice.
It's very good. Well, thanks, Dubby.
Good
We're gonna-
stuff.
So I imagine we're gonna start flying at some point.
We're
Last time we
buzzing.
did
We're
this,
gonna be
we were
buzzing
just
here.
ripping.
We got the Dubby, we got a little kava kratom mix, water.
And we got some horror for you as well.
The scariest.
On top of it all,
Maybe not the scariest.
I got some scary stuff.
It's probably the scariest. It's pretty
Oh,
scary.
I do want to say thanks to the Pumpkin
Not too
Radio
scary.
Big Brass Band.
Oh yeah, once again.
They did great on that intro.
Their live intros are great.
Dawson, anything horror this week? Just it doesn't have to be.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
We were
So
chatting
there's
for a
thunderstorm
long time
kinda
before
last night.
this,
There's some
but-
thunder. I don't know. Nothing like too scary though for me. I've just been busy.
Yeah. Well, that's scary. And kind of
Yeah.
anxiety ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For me, well, I think I learned how to hypnotize people through
Yeah.
through like my voice and massage this week during one of my classes, and
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm going to take that further. I'm going to really lean into that. I got a couple things here. Let's see here. Oh, I don't want to start off with that now. We'll do a shout out to that pod at the end. So we talked about the Flannel Man last week.
Yeah.
Kind of a creepy dream space, liminal entity. And then this whole week I was getting like different information about other liminal entities, and like a lot of different podcasts I've listened to put out like oddly they put out the weird like liminal entity stories same week. Like not like same week, so they were all recorded in advance, like, and it would maybe come out a little bit later. Very interesting though. It was something's trying to poke through here.
Dude. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's definitely something going on with
It's
that.
just weird, right? It was just weird. That I like. It was a story about
one of those synchronicity things where you're like, okay, so we're all thinking about this somehow.
because I was listening to a story about something called an ALP, and I don't want to steal that whole pod's thing, but it's just an ALP, and it seems most basically like an evil elf, aka a void gnome.
I think I've heard of these. Yeah.
This is like there's pictures of these things online from like the 1800s, like paintings, like Victorian style paintings of little creatures sitting on people's chests.
Yeah, that picture. You
That
sent me,
was
'cause
one,
that's the. Dude,
and that actually wasn't the right picture. That was just a different demon entity.
That's like a sleep paralysis thing.
Yeah, it's a sleep paralysis thing. It's all in
So I
that.
remember finding that and being like, oh, I remember seeing one of those.
The
get in my
elk
chest,
is it either wears tattered clothes or is like covered in like shaggy hair, and it has like cat ears. It has like kind of a feline thing going, but also interestingly, it wears a small hat called the cap of concealment, and that lets it change into any other animal shapeshift. Okay, so you got a little shapeshifting in there.
So almost like yeah.
When it shifts though, it keeps the hat on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just like when like even my depictions of void gnomes that I've drawn and like kind of like seen through like sleep paralysis, they do have these like pointed hats. It's like they are like it looks like a garden gnome, like
There's
basically
something like to that design. Like there's like that's like
it's just weird seeing like this one is described as actually having like a cap, and the cap has like a power to it.
You look at like I think in like Spain they like do like a parade. It's like a holiday thing where they like all have these like big tall white. It's not KKK, but like if you didn't know it well enough, you'd see a picture and be like, "Whoa,
Sure, yeah."
KKK in Spain." It's like no, it's like much more ancient than that.
Well, there's
It's like what the KKK they like stole that idea basically. But
well, there's
it's like,
that. I kind of put it more in like the holiday, like Christmas side of things. There's that
too,
like
yeah,
Mary, whatever it's called, which is like that horse skull in like a white robe thing. That's kind of what I'm picturing now, which isn't the same thing, but yeah, there's
something to it, man.
I mean, yeah, even when I drew my void gnome thing, I'm like, God, this kind of does look like a fucking KKK dude.
Yeah,
just because it's
they're like.
It's
There's a reason, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fucked up design. It's freaky.
The KKK kind of stole that.
So that was just weird. This like demon on a chest Alp thing. I heard about that. Then I heard another one about. It was another thing about the Hat Man, which is just the classic one. And people seeing that.
Yeah, we talked about my sleep paralysis, didn't we? Did I not talk about? No. I think that's what's happened. That's like new for me.
Okay.
I had sleep paralysis
Dawson,
for the first time in fucking years.
It's horror.
After we talked about it, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff poking through. Do you want to go into that?
Well,
a little bit?
yeah, okay. So I mean, it wasn't definitely not the most intense sleep paralysis I had. It was like a reminder that it's still there, basically.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt. But it was like
this is how you remind me.
It was like a,
you know,
it was because it was weird because I was like very much dreaming, but I like woke up in my bed, but it was like in a different room. It was like a different room. And like
you woke up in your dream, kind of.
But yeah, I was like woke up in my dream having sleep paralysis.
But it felt real.
But it was like I was like awake still. I was like I like could feel myself like vocalizing and like making noise, you know, like trying like really
like
trying
squirming,
to breathe,
kind of, yeah. Ooh.
like really just trying to like get out, but like I like couldn't really like see it. Like it wasn't. I couldn't really physically see it, but I could tell like there's like this shadow, like laying next to me in bed, like holding me, like hugging, like. Squeezing me tight, like that's why I couldn't breathe, and I was like, "Oh." This is one of the first times I've had sleep paralysis, like starting, like I was like on my side, so it was like it was like face.
Yeah,
to face
usually I've only had it when I'm kind of I cough and sleep.
Yeah.
I do the businessman sleep.
Usually that's like
arms crossed.
It hits me when I try to sleep like that. So that was interesting. But yeah, it was like this like shadow witch. It's kind of how I thought of it.
Does it have like a pointy hat or something, or you just thought of it as a witch?
I mean, that's the thing is like I can kind of like.
I don't want to put it.
I can like imagine how it kind of looked, and it's kind of like like a dark like witch kind of vibe. But it was like it like wasn't there though. I don't know. It was like a very dreamy like.
Yeah.
It was there but not there at the same time. Like I could like see it right here, but then I'd like try to look at the rest of it, and it just wasn't there anymore. But it was like still there. Like
it's like coming in and out of reality.
Yeah, it was like
you're
very
barely
just
perceiving
like,
it.
Staticky. Yeah, just like very
staticky.
Like,
yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Kind of that glitchy state.
And yeah, because I was like actively trying to wake up because I was like, oh shit, oh, like this isn't my room. Where the fuck am I? Like, and then like also like it's like boom, I like jolt out and I'm like in my bed again, like facing the other way, and like it was like mirrored in like a different room. Mm-hmm. It was weird. I was like, yeah, it was one of those times where you like have a dream and you wake up and you're like I think I was somewhere else. I think I was actually just somewhere else.
Yeah. Do you wonder like, damn, I almost feel like your body was probably like halfway transparent, like your corporeal figure, like nobody's seeing it, but like I don't know, some of those times when you're alone like that, I feel like you're like fucking thinning or whatever.
I could have not even been in my bed anymore, and like no one would know. You know, like I don't know.
Dang,
It was crazy. That was intense. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought I already talked about it, but no, yeah, that was
excuse the ding.
Yeah, the ding's fine. A little notification.
Dude, that's
damn.
That's. I thought I was getting hit with stuff because it was like coming up in my feed, but you're getting.
Yeah, I'm straight up just like they just got me.
You've been getting the main line between that and the Sacred Clown thing with that book the other week.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're like,
coming at you.
They're really coming for. They're really like nudging me.
Do you have any magical defenses up?
Oh yeah, I got some sacred items.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greek Fest. I got like this. It's like a certified sacred item. It's like a cross made out of like olive tree.
Olive tree.
Which it has like it has frankincense. Rose. It has like some stone from Jerusalem.
Damn.
I think that's it.
I like that.
There's like it's got like those like the things.
That's sick.
Or it has like the olive leaf too. In
yeah.
There too. So it's like it's like carved, and then it has like these little like on each point of the cross. It has like a little capsule with like these things in it.
Wow, it's
like really beautiful.
That's
too.
really cool.
It's a beautiful little piece of art.
That's gotta be.
And I like when I was looking at it because I was at Greek Fest and there's like the booth next to me and I was like, oh, that looks cool. Like I'll go check it. This.
Did you get that before you found the book?
Yeah.
Dude, that might have opened up something. You might have just gotten pretty close.
Well, I got that and Because like I was walking by and it had like the little cards that said like certified like sacred item.
Yeah, hell yeah.
From like the Holy Land. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well I'm gonna get one.
I need this.
And he gave me like $20 off on it. So I'm like, sweet. And then I also got other ones. It's like they're like little like crystal like geodes that have like little like it has like the Mother Mary like painting on it too.
Oh.
Like another like
That's powerful.
another like from like the like Holy Land kind of thing. I'm like, nice. I have a couple of those. I have like a Bible next to it. It's like holding up a Bible now that I got at Goodwill. It's like pretty cool. It's like a wood covered Bible.
Dude,
I don't know. I'm like fully like protecting myself.
My notes right here just says almost fully Christian again in a cosmic sense.
Yeah. I like went full circle from like
what the hell's going on with my mind, dude? Well,
it's very like nuanced. It's not like exact. I'd never be like orthodox. But I'm like, definitely like this shit's like real out here, and it's like whatever you want to call it. I'm like there for it, but it's like I feel you because like Tanner that I work with, like he's like full on Satanist, and I'm like, yeah, dude. We're like talking about stuff. I'm like, yeah, we're on the same fucking page, brother.
Yeah.
Like it's all chill, man. Like I'll also, I'll have like some fucking any religion sacred item. I'm trying to have.
Yeah, try to collect.
Trying to like have these blessed items, and like really just.
Dude, I like that.
Well, that was the thing is like I with my sleep paralysis, I was like it was I'm freaking out. I'm trying to wake up, I'm breathing heavy, just because like your like chest gets tight. But
yeah,
like,
you're like so.
I like woke up. I wasn't like afraid though. I was like, nice. I'm here. Something was protecting me. I was like, something's got me. Something's got my back. I think
Sacred Clown was holding you the whole time. Don't even worry.
Yeah, Sacred Clown's
Don't even worry.
Yeah.
The golden bubble's still there. You're
holding me.
Yeah. Dude, well, that
like a baby.
The like olive. That's such an interesting cross section between like ancient Greece stuff. Like you're getting into stuff with like Athena, who brought like the original olive tree, like the seed of the olive tree, to Athens before it was even called Athens. And like that was her sacred symbol, and like that's why the people are loving her because this tree gives them wood and fruit and like oil.
Yeah, dude, the like medicinal like qualities of olive oil, dude, is like because there's like that was the other stand was like an olive oil stand, and I like go and like try this shit, and it's like man,
that's like that cross section of like. It's like this more ancient thing, like built into a slightly newer like context. Like a cross made out of that is like it seems like it's holding both powers. Then
well that's the thing. I think that's like that, I think that's the thing. Like a sacred item's going to transcend any like thing you put over it. Any like like whatever like mask or like painting you want to.
Don't
put
get
on
any
it.
flannel near that. Fucking talked
that's
about
the thing.
last week. Fucking watch where you're putting these.
Shit, man.
Watch where you're putting these blessed items.
No, I'm like very been very. Like cautious with that.
Damn.
I think it's been good.
I like that.
See. Yeah.
That's sick.
That's pretty sweet.
Trying to think of like I have a bunch of like cool little witchy items.
Yeah.
I always like my casket key that I have. I haven't yet touched it. It's still in the box. It's like a very used key. Like it's the turnstile like knob thing that you'd stick in the bottom or in like the casket. In the instrument that would lower the casket, basically. It's like it's that knob that you would stick in and then like but that's used across multiple. That's used for like years, apparently.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and then I just ended up with it, but I haven't touched it yet. I'm like, I don't know. At some point I wanted to do an on-air seance with my little spirit box here. Maybe we could get that involved. And I was thinking like, because it's going to be pretty much unlistenable to the, to the listener, just because spirit box is like cut through. Like AM or FM radio waves like really fast to try to find these frequencies in between and stuff. So a lot of it's going to be like glitching cuts. So I think I would like maybe try to cut just like any words that come out like through the audio.
Maybe we can try to do that for like some Patreon shit or something,
Yeah. I was like,
I was that little bonus things. We could like get video of it or something too.
I got the setup right here. We got we got the whole thing.
Or we could put it up, whatever. We'll figure it out.
I did write live seance ? Right here.
That's good. I like that idea. We definitely do that.
Get some of these holy items in here.
I might need to bring like my cross with me, but I might need to bring my sacred cross with me.
Please, because I'm still looking for those vials of Jesus' blood. That's my.
I think Tanner gave me a horn, like a Viking horn for my birthday too. I have like that around, like like a book of like runes.
I mean, we got this
book.
Here.
I got like
we got our Mjolnir symbol right here. This little hanging.
I'm like really trying to like consciously like. And not even like narrow in on like one certain thing, just kind of whatever feels right out of all of it. Because I've always liked like Buddhist shit too.
Dude,
like,
you know what that is? It's chaos magic.
Exactly, dude. That's like what it is. It just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, just opening yourself up to it all.
Yeah, it's like why not?
Letting it all flow in.
Like why not? Why not? because like I don't think anyone can like really. I don't think you can actually like articulate it. Like so, especially like the spiritual shit. Like once you try to like articulate it, you just kind of like lose it anyway. So it's like you might as well. These symbols like transcend a lot of that. Where you like look at certain things like the yin and yang and stuff. You look at that and you're like, okay, I get what's going on. I think you can just look at it and like understand what it means.
Yeah,
just by like what the colors, the shape, everything. You're like, oh yeah.
Well, that's like what we were talking. I mean, I guess that was a symbol created after some amount of writing, I assume. But we were talking about even like hieroglyphics in Egypt and like the ways of perceiving images instead of letters for understanding and how that might change how you can perceive things. Is very fucking interesting to me. You're telling you we could never learn because once you learn like how to read, it's really hard to fucking unlearn it. It's like you can't look at like a whatever. Yeah. It's always under like you're always gonna be able to read it, even if you're just like unless you fucking cross your eyes or some shit. But it would be. It's an interesting. I don't know. I'll have to adopt a kid and just only show them pictures.
Like, this is what this means.
Yeah. Teach them hieroglyphics only. And like cuneiform maybe.
Yeah. See, like if they just perceive the world way different.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
They'll probably way more magic.
I'll give them some coin swords and they can go fight demons.
Yeah. Like you're the chosen one now.
Please. We need it.
We need you.
We need a sacred clown
dude, we're almost there. We're like almost there to like breeding kids to fucking
Okay, can I bring it back to Flannel Men?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I looked up when the pattern for flannel came out, like when they developed that.
Nice, hell yeah.
Okay, because I was like, we're talking about how like, something that is so pervasive across many cultures in a sleep paralysis state can be, like we're saying, some things would make sense because they're from such an ancient place in our mind. That you'd be like, we're all afraid of like, not we're all, a lot of people are afraid of like snakes and spiders because at one point if you get bit with those, there's not like a hospital. You're a caveman.
Dark unknown.
Yeah, you just become poisoned and you die. That's kind of stuff. So some of these would make sense.
Mold's kind of like that.
Yeah. This exactly. But like with flannel, this stuff that I read it down somewhere, 1800s, fucking 1800s let's see, I didn't write it there. I just remember there was. It was like of like Welsh design or something. It was like just so they weren't wearing plain clothes. It wasn't any more specific. It was just a design, but it was literally 300 years ago, maybe. Like, so how did that cross so many cultures? Bizarre to me. But then that goes on to just like, along with like symbols, like patterns. Like you look at like even like sacred geometry or something, but. So, if you remember me showing you the pictures of the Hioka from the like Ojibwe tribes and like around Michigan, these like Sioux Nation kind of, the sacred clowns from that, like they're called Hioka there. Yeah, that's where the term comes from. There's those black and white striped things. If you go ahead and look up Hioka, folks, it's kind of how it sounds, Hioka. But if you look that up, you're going to get all kinds of statues and things of these jester-like people, like creatures with like thick black and white stripes going across, like horizontally across their body. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what is like flannel is on like a metaphysical level. If we're saying that these sacred clowns are more just like black and white stripes, is then sort of a void bastardization of stripes, like a flannel design then? Like, are they like copying it but making it like...
Is it like, because it's like, is flannel just like stripes in like a grid pattern?
Kind of, yeah. Like, how is it like... That's what it was a weird... I just have like, right here, my notes just say stripes of the Hioka are like equal to flannel pattern, kind of like separately equal to like...
flannel too, like stripes, you'll see like striped things in like nature, but like you don't really see like a flannel pattern just in nature.
No, you don't. Yeah,
it's so like it a very like weird.
Yeah,
and I mean not now.
Multitudes of like straight lines and different. It's just a pattern, but thinking about what it is, like I know, saying like it's a very orderly looking thing still, but like compared to just like simple, compared to just a simple black and white stripe. Because I was getting into. I always wanted to talk about like this like contrast theory, I would call it, where it's just like, what is that? Like that point between like that exact line between white and black, that like dark and light, like that like exact sliver that you'd have to like heat the sun up and then like use a knife from the sun's heat to like cut it, like whatever. And like you look at like anime where it's like it's a knife so fucking sharp that you cut through universe shit. It's like silly, but it's like, what is that line? I don't know what that shit means. It's like these patterns are like with sacred geometry, like patterns mean something. Yeah. Patterns are like all they're prevalent in like everything we see. And like the human mind is built to like see patterns where they are, even if they're not there. So just like having this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if I told you to like draw a pattern of like a flannel pattern, would you like?
It would look like, like a hashtag.
It would be like it'd be like a bunch of hash marks. I don't know if I'd actually like get it right. I mean, I think they're all like whatever. It's all different, but
I've always, dude, that's always like been something where I'm like, because like, when you're a kid, you're like in art class, you're like, okay, I had to, like, my dad was wearing a flannel. I'm trying to draw that. Mm-hmm. It's like, well,
like you could just like, but it's weird. So
because it like wraps around, so there's always like the way it's not just straight, you know, because it like
it does
moves with like the like pattern of like the clothes, you know, like the shape of the clothes. But it's still like if you laid it flat, it'd be like a weird grid. I don't know.
So that was just one thing, very simple like thought on the just like.
Yeah.
This sacred clowns are like this like striped thing, and then these like flannel men that seem to be like a darker entity, or this like, I guess I would just call it a bastardization of like stripes, which sounds silly, but like what the fuck is that?
Well, like what wasn't like there was a time when like if you're like a like, you know, it was like if you escaped jail or like you're a prisoner, you'd like have this stripes. Mm-hmm. Like they used to do stripes. What was that about?
I don't know what that design is. I don't know.
That just like
I would tie it in. You could tie it into there somehow. I bet.
I don't know.
Pattern.
I'm just connecting things.
I guess that's just to like. Well, it's to be like noticeable and noticed, right? To like see it. It's like, and it's like, but then like with flannel, it almost has that like glitchy, that like pixelated loading texture that you see so much with like these void entities, these like liminal creatures. You know, this sleep paralysis things that seem to be loading in and out of time and space. And like I feel like a flannel texture might be like complementary to that tactic of movement.
Well, maybe it's similar to like the hats where it like helps you like shapeshift, or maybe it like helps you like that's like the device that like moves you through this and that kind of like realm or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, because like if there's like hats that there's like these things that have like hats that can like change. They can like. You know,
it's called a cap of concealment.
I was trying to remember what a cap of concealment.
Cap of concealment. And
so
there's
Googling that. You're gonna get a lot of flannel of like transcending.
You're gonna get a lot of World of Warcraft images if you look up that kind of thing. But it is also
flannel of like you know, realm.
It's like flannel of nether sight or something.
Yeah, like teleportation or like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, you're
flannel
you're
of
not
like
wrong.
dream world.
Like, and you're saying, like, especially when the pattern, like, the folks are going to love how much we're talking about just flannel, like, as a pattern right now. But this is, like, how far it comes is, like, you're saying, like, something moving in, like, a flannel pattern. Like, then it's, like, a constantly weird amorphous shape. And, you could, like, that movement could kind of trick the eye into changing into different things.
Right.
And also, there's something about, like, grid-like patterns. And just, like, you look at, like, sigils and stuff. These, like, certain patterns that, like, can do things. They can like summon up a creature. Like, what if that's some type of? And it's like, I mean, it was a design made fucking 300 years ago. But like, I guess it's like if somehow they're using it, or it's just like, it's just like they saw it and now it's easier to get into.
Because it was made in the 1800s, and I think there was a lot of weird shit going on in the 1800s that like our history doesn't like reflect it.
Yeah,
you know, like there's like some shit going on like. There's like I don't know exactly what.
Well, there was
I think there was like a huge like.
There was like a spiritual awakening. Like people were trying to like that's when you get people like Madame Blavatsky, this person that like traveled the world, went to Tibet and all this stuff, and wrote this stuff and kind of.
Well, because like you look at like old like mental asylum shit that were built in the 1800s. They're like huge mansions, and it was like, what the fuck? Like, there's that many people that you need that much like space to like. And like for all these insane people losing their fucking mind, like everyone went schizophrenic.
Like and as far as like medical advancement, like that is such an interesting time for stuff. There's so much. There's just so much more like
they're still like don't have like they're still sawing off a leg if it breaks. You know, like if you like can't if it's not like you can't splint it together, like they're cutting it off. You have an infection, you're gonna die. Like and then they have like mental asylums though at the same time. It's like damn, dude, like. Which, like, I don't know. That's, like, I think it was just, like, a booming time where, like, everything was changing really fast. Because, like, the beginning of the 1800s, it's horse and buggy. By the end, like, cars are coming around. Flights about to happen.
Yeah, it happened so damn quick.
Like, the Titanic was, like, 1912. You know what I mean? So that's around that same time where it's, like, I don't know. Like, shit's popping off. Electricity's, like, starting to become a thing. Like, where there's like things happening.
Yeah, you can
where,
like finally communicate. Across vast
industrialization
distances.
is like fully enforced. Like,
that's the thing. Like when you start to be able to
unraveling.
communicate with people across the planet or even just across
Yeah.
the continent, like that must open something up. And even looking
dude.
at stuff like
Even just
okay.
like moving electricity the way like we started moving it, like
Well,
that was
there's-
never a thing on the planet. Like that's gonna like open up.
industrial like
Who
style
knows?
mining and like the act of like busting open like rocks that
Yeah.
have been on the planet for eons and like cracking that open, like the energy that
Who knows what was, like, imprisoned in that.
exactly, like these things, these ancient like entities or like new
Mm-hmm.
entities that are coming through just from the sheer like the power of cracking something that's billions of years old, like
Yeah.
just like opening that up, like that is something. And that's
Shifting.
why I read somewhere like fracking, like
Yeah.
mass fracking that we're doing now, like where you're just like busting open entire mountains.
Yeah,
And, like-
hollowing out hills.
Like what is that doing? Like because even in Iceland, they fully believe in the Hildefolk, these hidden people.
Oh, yeah.
And there's one of the best examples is this giant boulder.
giants.
But
Yeah.
there's a giant boulder that they built that there's a full highway going. And they built the highway around it, like
Yeah.
an inconvenience for that because they're like they don't want to fuck with that. They're not going to mess with that.
Exactly. No, I think about that a lot. Like, what secrets? Mm-hmm. You know, what kind of shit? Like, especially when you think of like Mount Rushmore, like the Black Hills, like that was like sacred lands and shit. And it's
You
like,
just bust it open, put
and then
some
you just
white
like
dude's face
start
on
carving
it,
faces, and it's like,
put a bunch of fucking murderers.
which
faces
I've
on it.
like seen theories where people think that's a cover up of like there was like other faces before that.
Oh yeah,
And they like cleaned it up. They like took the wizard beards off and shit. And like
I like that. Oh,
no,
there's a
yeah,
bunch of-
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
Mount
There's like
Blizzard.
pictures of it where they're like they had like an extra face and they just flattened that one out, but it was like a wizard beard. Yeah, it was like something. Wait, it was like
Damn,
Gandalf.
Merlin was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, exactly. He was like actually
Oh,
secretly.
fuck,
He's
dude! I
like-
want to do a whole episode on Merlin. Too.
Merlin
It's
was
hardcore.
like taken off of Mount Rushmore.
him and Jesus were in
But, like-
America and the fucking.
Well, that's the thing. Is like people were like, yeah, that was like those were like the giant races of giants that lived there before like
Mm-hmm.
made that and like put that there, and that's like why it's sacred. I don't know. I haven't really done it myself. I just watched a couple of YouTube videos on
Yeah,
that shit.
nice.
But like,
just getting.
you know,
deep.
I like, dude. I hear a weird theory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, well, let's check it out.
Let's talk about that.
I'm curious about
Yeah.
it.
Dude, okay. Well,
'Cause
that's
I don't
like.
know. There's so much mystery. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. Any theory could be as valid as the last to me.
Do we want to talk even more about Flannel Men? I actually have a lot
Good,
more
yeah.
here.
What else you got? Yeah, let's go
so-
back to it.
And actually, this is a kind of a side part of Flannel Men and these sleep paralysis entities, these things
Yeah.
from beyond the void, these like creatures of the back rooms, if you would. The black dog entities. Have you heard about black dog sightings at all in any context besides like I have a little black dog out there right now.
Not like that. Not as like a black dog, but
They're more like that's a whole wing of like paranormal stuff is seeing these black
Yeah, yeah.
dogs in a sleep paralysis state.
okay.
Or just like maybe not all the time black, but just this like dark, almost like a silhouette of a dog. Now, what jogged this was because at my massage therapy school, I was massaging somebody and talking about some of this madness, and it kind of rubbed off on them, and they were telling me about a sleep paralysis that they had multiple times, and they would see a black dog or like some type of like silhouetted like dog. Like standing in their doorway and like slowly approaching. I don't want to mince words. I think it was I think it was like just slowly approaching and like growling and like that. And they didn't have a dog.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you see it, and he said like
is it
he
growling at me or is it growling at something else? that I'm
yeah,
not
and then it's like, okay,
Oh, yeah, fuck.
Well, this brings in some people will call them hellhounds.
Yeah.
It's like the colloquial term, maybe, or like you can Google different things, but hellhound will get you somewhere.
Yeah.
People often will see this kind of stuff before like a death happens.
Yeah.
So it can even be almost like a Mothman thing, where like something bad would happen after the sighting, and it's
omen.
like, did it cause that, or was it an omen?
Or is it like a warning, or is it like coming to like?
So where I think the Mothman is like kind of a chill dude and like just kind of warning stuff. And I don't think he can
Yeah.
interact, but it's like, hey, this is gonna happen. I don't know, this is gonna happen. With the black dog sightings, it's more like when people post about it or when people talk about it, there's often people will ask like, did you have a death in the family recently, or like did somebody pass?
Yeah.
So I did not ask this person I was talking to if there was like a death or whatever, but they told me about this dog thing, which got me remembering about all the other stories I've heard about this. Because it's like one of those things where you hear about it and you just lock it away in your mind, like for some reason you just don't want to think about it. And obviously, the end of their story is that.
One time you hear about that and you're like already like in a all rabbit hole.
I'm already.
We'll put a pin in that.
I also think though that some of these things we're trying to research are like actively trying to evade like being researched in like my mind. Like it's just like trying to take on like whatever level that would be. But and then like all these stories go. Yeah, he fucking went back to. He just ended up going back to bed after a time. Like he just kind of like rolled over or whatever and like fell asleep. It's not like he didn't get it. He wasn't able to get up and examine and like check it out, which is like many like every other kind of like extraterrestrials or anything too. You'll get that where you're just like locked into a position and like you maybe don't remember it at all. So that was just like a story I was told. In person, and then I kind of went on a little bit of a kind of dug through the rabbit hole. I wanted to find some good stories I could bring. So I'm going to tell them now, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's go.
These are taken across the internet, some of them from Reddit. I got one from, like, 4chan, and then there's just some other, like, deeper websites that I'm not going to reveal here. If you look up... I'll tell you later. I'll put it in the show notes. There's this other long-standing, like, cryptid foundation-type websites that'll show you some good information about this that I like to frequent. So I first contacted the user. This was somebody from Reddit. I contacted them to see if I could use their story, and I ended up deleting the message. And I'm going to use their story anyway because when I went on their profile. Okay, they'd been first off. This user had like 6. They were on there for at least 6 years. So first, when you're looking at stories, it's like, did they just create an account to post this? Which sometimes it's like, okay, okay, maybe they just had an experience and they want to share it somewhere. And I've seen that too. But sometimes it's like they'll create a post and it's like, then every other post is like about something. I don't know. You can tell when it's like maybe fraudulent or it's this weird like links back to like a Etsy page or something goofy. Pumpkinhillradio.etsy.com.
Pumpkinhillradio.
But I went. So their profile was just funny. There was like it was a lot of posts in like r/like sex toys, and they have like and they ended up there was a spoilers. There was a death in the family around this event, and for like in my message I was like my condolences, all this stuff. But I just felt even weird like treading that ground because they were also in like the like r/like self-harm groups and stuff. And I'm like I don't really want to pick at this.
I think it's good. I think it's good to like ask people to use their stories, but I also think. They're kind of like semi-anonymously posting on the internet publicly. So
it was just...
It's kind of free game. I've seen like people pretty egregiously just... Like it's like reading stories off Reddit. Not that... It's like a whole YouTube channel.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, okay.
So not that I want to...
We're not doing that.
I'm not trying to like plagiarize or steal or whatever. I just like... I deleted the messages because I didn't want it to trigger them. Because what their post history said to me was that they were struggling with this kind of stuff. And I didn't want to... nudge them in a direction where they're kind of falling down this hole if they don't want to be, basically. And maybe in the future I'll reach back because some of these people I did reach out to and they're like, yeah, let's do it. That's cool. But this person I was like, I'll just protect it. I want to read it verbatim. I'm not going to throw anything else in. So here's the start of their story. Not the start. I did say user redacted their profile was going too hard and I can't share it. So I'm going to start reading their story now. I have a history of sleep paralysis and weird, vivid dreams, but this felt way too real and jarring, and I can't just shrug it off. It was around 3 a.m. when I finally began to fall asleep late night. My cat was asleep in a cat bed on top of a basket behind me. In that limbo between awake and sleep, I could hear my usual sleep music, hear my cat shifting in her bed, but then all of a sudden I could hear her panting, loud panting. When I opened my eyes, there was a dog in front of me. It was big, too, a little higher than where my eyes are in the bed, standing in between my closet door and my bed. With my eyes glued to it, it gave a couple more quick pants, then closed its mouth and stared at me. It had normal, dark dog eyes. I just couldn't get over how large this dog was, like an enlarged black lab with a shaggier coat from its middle down. The top of its head looked kind of patchy. I couldn't tell if that were because of a fur pattern or dirt and scouring or what. Or maybe it was wet. It was so dark, and this is all in little sidebar. Or maybe it was wet. It was so dark, and the lines of the dim light from my cracked open window blinds made its fur harder to see clearly. So right there, they did mention there's a little bit of light coming through the blinds. Just dim light, but that is, you see that in a lot of stories too.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, they only saw it as dim because that dog was bringing such a fucking dark energy. Who knows? So I'm going to start back into the story. Sorry, I had a little break there. I started breathing heavy, and my heart was practically pounding out of my chest. I thought to myself, how the fuck did a dog get in my apartment? I assumed my neighbor's dog had gotten in, as they had a black lab, but I realized that this dog before me was easily twice the size of the neighbor's dog, almost as big as a Great Dane, if not around that size. I scrambled in bed in fear. I kept my eyes locked on the dog. It was there, clear as day to me, just standing there and staring, within a foot or two of me. But then, as I sat up, I watched it fade away like watching something fall into a black hole, stagnant, and then growing gradually darker until it was gone. Mm-hmm. I felt paranoid and nervous to try to fall asleep again after that. My cat had perked up her head and was very alert as well, and was restless like I was after that. So that's weird too, right? The animal was perceiving it too. I don't think I was dreaming because I was very awake when it clicked that this dog was giant and in my face, and it was there for a hot second before it faded away. This dog last night felt so much more real than anything paranormal I've experienced before. They went on to state they have they said I have a witchcraft altar above the head of my bed on the wall, dedicated in part to the goddess Hecate. They also said my father died a few months ago, and his wife made him promise that he'd leave us signs if he was a spirit.
Wow, there we go.
Okay, and here's one last part of that. The cat did wake up, because this is a comment, and somebody was like talking about the cat. They said, the cat did wake up, and she was staring in the direction of where I saw the dog. She's older and is dealing with a pain issue, so she isn't quick to run away and from anything right now. She always has more of a fawn response to scary things and doesn't hiss. She didn't seem disturbed, though. Oh, no, she did seem disturbed, though. Ooh. She didn't just stay in that spot of sleeplessness, if that makes sense. So that's the end of that one.
Damn.
Just like, it's like almost exactly what the dude told me.
Yeah, no, that's so similar to like my like seeing other like entities too, where they like fade in and out of this like darkest dark shadow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe, maybe like the light outside was brighter, but it's like the room was brought to this dim state. You know? Oh yeah. Damn. Fuck. I got more stories. Do you want to take a pause? Is there anything else? Sometimes I'll say that the dogs will have like red eyes. A lot of times they will just be this like. I'm saying this is like a shadow figure's dog, or like the Flannel Man's like it's like a hellhound of some kind, right? That's like coming through. Yeah. That is like I don't know if it's like a hunting dog for these things, or if it's on the same level and it just is in this dog form. Maybe it's an Alp. I don't think it's wearing a hat though, so I don't think it's the Alp. I'll read the next story.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like some of that shit, like there's like shapeshifters out there. Like it's like people like I don't know, skinwalkers is like way like
I have that.
It's very like overused almost, but it's like there are like times where like I've like seen enough videos too where it's like people are like, yeah, I thought my dog was outside trying to get in, but my dog's right there, and it's right like there, the exact copy, and it's like just looking weird. Yeah. It's like I don't know. I have some stuff on there I can like, get into a little later. They could all be staged, whatever, but like I feel like I've like encountered animals where I'm like, this animal's fucked up. This thing's fucking weird. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna read us another story, kind of about this paranormal black dog thing. So here we go. About a year ago, my wife and I were eating Taco Bell at a local nature trail. Nice. It's a good fucking date. It was sunny and very nice. I called it. Suddenly it gets dark like it's about to rain Okay, so also this like the English wasn't the best on this one, so I don't know what that means. This is one of the posts that I saw was a newly created account, and it was all one paragraph. This whole thing that I cut, I cut a little bit of the top, but it was all just one big block paragraph, and the title was like dumping. Yeah, like when they typed like the, it was like th, like sometimes they would like miss stuff or like this one felt very much like they had this happen and they were like, what was this? So I'm going to start again. About a year ago, my wife and I were eating Taco Bell at a local nature trail. It was sunny and very nice. Suddenly it gets dark like it's about to rain and cold, just out of the blue. We decide to head to the car parked about 300 feet away, but see a small black dog by it coming toward us. For no reason, I personally am spooked, and as the dog gets closer, it actually is a big black dog, some kind of hunting dog. It didn't appear that big before, and it wasn't that far away, and so I don't know how it gets closer. And I don't know how famous hunting dogs too.
I don't know how it was small than big. Yeah. Anyway, my wife, to my dismay, calls it over to try to pet it. I said, no, it could be a stray. As it gets closer, it snarls, growls, and barks loudly at us before running between us and off. We look back, and it's just gone. We were in an open area. What the hell was that? And then they commented, now somebody else commented on this thing. My mom's dog was seen in puppy form at my dad's house while he was in the last 2 weeks of hospice care. Sounds like the spirit dog progressed through his growth cycle as he neared you.
Interesting.
So that's because I was thinking more just like size difference, but this is like it's actually like time is different for it even or something right?
Yeah.
And then here's another part of that one. Somebody else said, I've seen a very white dog, as white as the moonlight, with almost the same story as you, and there were two of us to see that. Okay, right?
Yeah.
A white dog instead. Okay, then someone mentions skinwalkers of Wendigos.
Yeah.
And then that's when I'm starting to think, do you remember back at our old house in the cross, me and Jack lived in the old house in the cross, there was that Native American guy that would hang out with us sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He would tell us some shit. He would, and I don't know, like, this wasn't, like, very secret information, but he was, like, keeping it on the down low, maybe. Like, it was weird for him to even...
Well, he was like royal in his tribe.
Yeah.
And, like, he would, like, do, like, regular peyote, like, retreats, like...
Yeah. So this guy, he would tell stories about his grandmother becoming a white fox, and that's how she would travel.
Yeah.
And so that gets to me thinking, like, I don't know, like, it's like I don't want to separate like white and black, like dark and light, but it is like this like opposite but the same thing almost. That was just a weird. Like all these are somehow like.
Yeah, man. There's something that I like think about some of the shit that guy would say too. He's like, yeah, I see dead people like constantly. Mm-hmm. They're all around. Mm-hmm. I like see like the ancestors like in. All over. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I've seen them. I don't know. He had like a lot of he was pretty fucked up.
There was a lot, but I had some of those. I don't have any drinks anymore.
Finish them all.
We're gonna take a short break here, and I come back. I got one or two more stories before we talk about some lighter fare. I have some other stuff too, but just to break it up here, let's take a little break because it gets me feeling weird when I talk about this stuff too much. You know?
No, it freaks me out, man.
All right, we'll be back. This is Pumpkinhillradio.
After the stories a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah, and welcome back. This is Pumpkinhillradio. I'm Travis Wormwood, and this is Dawson Trailer. Hope you enjoyed that break. I'm sure I put some great music in there. Yeah. Well, I have a few more stories about the black dog. I want to, though, first posit something. There's obviously other creatures besides, like there's the Alp, for example, and, like, void gnomes that are inhuman in a way, but still kind of humanoid. There are stories of other things besides dogs, like being in this sleep paralysis state, but the overwhelming number of specific, like, dog-shaped entities, I think that almost, again, like, it's a classic, like, man's best friend thing, like, flipping that on its head, in a way, like, this thing that we, by large, should be very happy about seeing, or, like, really at least content.
Or is usually, like, pretty happy to see.
Yeah, like, a dog in your bed, like, in your bedroom at night, 99% of the time, that dog's gonna be sleeping at the foot of your bed, just like a little cute baby, and like so.
Just pumped to see you.
Yeah, so like kind of the opposite of that. This like
something that creeps.
This like weird thing.
Which again, like, maybe that's like it's the only. It's still like super unsettling, but it's like the only way it can like show itself
can even poke
to you
through
ever.
That's just weird. Just like things being
form, and it's so like I'm sure it's like there's like an uncanny valley kind of a thing where it's like what the fuck. This is a dog, but like something's.
Well, they're saying it's like.
This is supposed to be a dog.
Big.
This is like supposed to be a dog, but it's fucking weird.
It's fucking weird, yeah. Well, yeah, so that again goes with this, like, flipping things on its head, even with as far as, like, stripes to
Which reminds me, I remember my dad telling me a story about, like, cause he was, like, hunting. He's always, like, been an outdoorsman, and then he was, like, pretty far away, but he, like, saw, like, some, like, black thing. And he's like, it definitely wasn't a bear. It wasn't like a cat.
Yeah, your dad knows every animal in the woods.
I've seen bears a bunch of times. He's like, he always like says like maybe it could. He's like maybe it was, but like it's that like rationalization of like maybe it was, but like it didn't move like
because what else?
It moved like how a person moved.
What else would Todd allow himself to think that is?
But it was like a black shadowy thing. Yeah, he's like I don't know.
Being somebody out in the woods,
I couldn't tell you what it was couldn't tell you what it isn't. I don't know.
I think somebody that spends that much time out in the woods too, like he
knows what animals.
You want to know what the animal, but also like at some point, I mean, obviously he has like the severe like reverence for it all, but like at some point you got to just be okay with not knowing and like telling yourself what it is, because it's like if you are going to go back out and do that again, you can't you can't let yourself believe that there's truly like demons out there. I mean, I would never go out again.
Yeah, you're like, well, it was maybe I just imagined that.
Your dad might just start hunting the demons.
Yeah.
But like for me, that'd be like
no, you have to like rationalize it in some way. Mm-hmm. When you like witness shit like that, you're like, what was that? Maybe it was just this.
Could have been Bigfoot.
Maybe, I don't know. Who fucking knows, man?
Okay. Well, I got another story here that I can read.
Another story here.
And like a lot of these are posted as like one giant block of text. It's very interesting. This is another one that came up pretty fast. Yeah. And this person gave a bunch of context about like the situation and like how is basically, I don't know. It seemed he was like 19 and he was at like his like friend's like girlfriend's party, and he ended up like sleeping on a bed with a girl, but like not. I don't know. It was just really funny. It seemed like a little kid trying to like explain like I don't know, but it was just. So let me just read this out. I cut off some of the beginning of this. So, and I think they're not any real names in the story, so they're just names that this person. There's a name coming up that's called, it's just Emily, and it's not the real person's name. So, so this is the person explaining now. So it's just I'm going to start right here. It's just a dude laying in bed next to a girl, and he's like, the girl might not be perceiving what he's seeing, but he just says, I'm pretty sure she thinks I'm trying to creep her out or try to annoy her or something at first until she hears something too and says something along the lines of, stop it, seriously. Now I'm not making this sound. She kind of drifts back to sleep, and then I hear it. I hear the loudest footsteps of my life move forward towards the bed, like someone was repeatedly banging a hammer down the patio to form steps. And my eyes are glued to the door in a sort of curious terror, and then I see what looks like a huge black dog. Black's not even spelled right. Like, there's a bunch of misspelled words in here. This person seems like they're, like, frantic to type it. They see this huge black dog-like thing on the door. Dog-like thing, right? It's not even really.
Yeah.
I'm at the door looking straight ahead, but not at us. To describe it further, I couldn't make it out in a real discernible features. It was just a silhouette of a very large, stocky sort of dog. Imagine a giant, shadowy pit bull. Now, I'm not sure when or how it wasn't there anymore, but it was just gone. And very soon the whole thing only lasted a few seconds. And I turn over and woke Emily up, and of course she doesn't believe him. I don't know. That was kind of a. I should have vetted these better.
Yeah.
This is just it's just another thing.
It's like. Yeah, like what? Like they were both, like, especially when it's like multiple people, like kind of witnessing something. It's like, even if, like, I mean, whatever, you can like make whatever up, but like, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm pretty sure when like there's multiple people witnessing something, it just makes it like that much more like real.
Yeah, somebody else like heard it first. Like she heard it first, and then he hears it and stays awake and like sees this thing peering through. He says that he doesn't
getting secondhand sleep paralysis is like very like.
Yeah, that's almost what it is. It's like he says she's in this like 3/4 dreamlike state.
Yeah, and he's like more like
he's awake.
What's going on? And he's like clearly perceiving this.
Yeah.
She's like kind of like sleep talking.
Maybe she's like.
Dude, I think there's
the
something
doorway,
to it.
You know?
Yeah, dude, there's something to it, man. Because I think like if you happen to be awake while someone's having sleep paralysis, you might just like see what they're seeing. You know, if you're like tired enough or like whatever, if you're
in that same space,
I'm pretty sure that's like a thing, man.
Dude,
I don't know.
Okay,
I've never witnessed it myself, but I would believe it.
Okay, I got one more story here, and then I got some other just jargon about it. But I'm listening to this one seems to be more coherent as well. It started a month ago when I was closing alone at work. It's a 2-person job, but someone was sick, so I was exhausted.
Classic.
And as I was washing dishes from the very corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of something black. It was large. It was like the top of a dog going from the. It was like the top of a dog going from the shoulders down to the tail, but I don't see the dog's head nor legs. The counter was blocking it, and it walked behind a wall so quickly I lost sight of it. Less than a second, I double checked, but of course nothing. So we just saw for a split second there, this thing walking by. Second time it happened, once again, when I was closing alone and I was just at the same spot, the sink, around the same area. Mind you, I was even more exhausted this time and sleep deprived. But this time I caught a glimpse of its entire top side. As I saw a downward facing ear, except this time I saw it walk by a stool and heard the stool move. Ooh, it's interacting with something, which I didn't see in other ones. Actually, it's actually touching something.
Yeah,
but he didn't see the stool move. He just heard it move. So I don't know. But it was probably on the other side of the counter. This one is even more frustrating because I walked and checked and the stool was out of place. Ooh, but I couldn't just forget to put it. Yeah, but I could have just forgot to put it back in place after a customer sat. And as I said, I only heard it move. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I always,
dude.
Whenever someone tries to like rationalize their own story at the end,
Yeah.
and then if there's also like another person that witnesses it, or like my two things where I'm like, okay, I can kind of like follow this. I always keep in mind they could just it's like obviously you can just make stuff up and just do that, but it's like I don't know. Something about that is like because you were trying to make something up to like trick people into believing your story.
It'd be a better
You're
story.
not gonna like rationalize it.
It'd also be a better story. I mean,
yeah, no,
like,
exactly. It's like I'm just witnessing this weird thing happening.
They're like so like slightly mundane almost in this like horrible way.
No, because like I feel like most people have like stories like that.
This one, it's interesting that
I mean?
this one is possibly interacting with like
Something.
an actual object because I'm done with the stories, but just other stuff I know about other stories I've heard is like people like being caught in like a mist and like seeing these dogs with like basically glowing red eyes or like at least red eyes. But someone like had like a gun on him, and like as a dog was running a dog ended up running at them, and they shot it, and the bullets like went right through it. It went right through it.
Like, what
just
the fuck?
bizarre, and I guess it just like I think it just like kind of turned into mist after a second and just vanished. But that's like so I'm saying like I don't know, it's weird like it's like the bullets didn't hit at that time, but then this time it's like touching it, it's like making something move, which that freaks me out because I don't usually see like these sleep paralysis entities actually like really making a dent besides like a mental thing.
No,
maybe something's out of place
you feel
here and
them,
there.
like, in your body, like on your body physically, but it's like they don't usually like open doors or whatever,
Yeah. So that's kind of the white dog. It's a lot of like it's just another thing.
Another monster.
That I just wanted to dig into it a little bit.
Yeah.
There's literally so many of these kinds of stories though.
Oh yeah.
Like
dude, the other day I like listened. It's like, dude, it's like non-human encounters that like stories, and it's like a dude. It's basically reading stories like that. Dude just like brings up these like non-human like entity like stories, and it, like one of them was also one, and like the fucking whatever clown.
Sandown Clown.
Yeah.
Which
those
those
were
are
on
like
there.
these weird striped things.
Those were on there. There's a bunch of other weird ass ones too, where you're like, what the fuck? Like,
Dang.
And then like my favorite part's like the witnesses like shitty like drawings that they try to make of it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, I love that
Yeah.
shit. It's like nice. That's freaky.
Any closing thoughts on Black Dog entities for today? It is interesting, like you said, like it's like folding into reality almost. How these things come in and out. These shadows like form,
like, come in and out of shadows. Like
it's like extra super darkness.
Yeah, or is it something like our human eyes just can't like really see?
You can't see that gateway. Well, it's looking at a wormhole.
black.
You can't even perceive it. It's too much. It's too much. I don't know what a 5 or 6D shape would look like besides just a bunch of shadows on top of each other, right? It would almost have to
probably
be
just turn into a shadow.
just this dark void. Well, okay, we can close it up there on the Black Dog thing. I got a few more fun things. Did you know T-Rex hunted in packs?
Dude, I feel like I learned that. That's like a new like
It's like a newer one.
idea they had about like.
Well, this is all. Yeah, I don't really.
I remember
know.
forever it was. I remember being into dinosaurs, and it was like they were pretty like lone rangers. They did their own thing, similar like a lot of like big cats, but turns out maybe they're more like lions as big cats. You know.
I thought that was fucking
pack
sweet.
animals.
How scary would that be?
Just,
Do you think that's like wolf
Even just, like,
hunting
3 or
patterns
4
where
of them.
wolves will like chase them and one will go around and get it from the front and different things. A group of dinosaurs doing that to you would be pretty fucking gnarly.
Anything that's
You're running away and then
huge.
fucking right in front of you, the T-Rex busts out and busts your ass open. Damn.
Yeah, fucking.
Cross that off the list. We talked about that. That was on the notes for a couple weeks
good.
now.
I like
All
that.
right.
No, that's cool, man. T-Rex.
Also, I told you a little bit before. and this is again, I heard it somewhere, but have you heard of like Patty Hearst?
I know that.
You know that name. So this was the quick rundown. You can look up like full.
It's gonna come back.
There's like multiple episodes of things on TV and books all about this. So I'm gonna give you just it was a kidnapping in 1974. A group of, it was a black nationalist party, but nobody in the party was black. Okay. First off, they all gave themselves like African names though. Just there's a whole thing there that I don't even need to dig into right now. But they kidnapped this daughter of like a millionaire or something, whatever it is. 1974. This person named Patty Hearst, and she actually was kept with a blindfold on for the first I don't even know, a very long amount of time, enough where she was just developing sores around her eyes and stuff because it was always there, and she would just be held in this closet, right? Basically, they eventually. And she ended up at the end of this thing, they ended up robbing, she's holding a gun in a bank, robbing it. But she's put up to it. There's some stories will say that she got converted, but there's almost no way. If you look at all the stuff, she was basically, she had to, because she was kept for 500. It was 500 days that she was during this. So, and these insane people basically. And they needed cash flow, so she ends up having to rob a bank at some point. But one funny side note about that whole endeavor is I'd use the term cyanide bullets. I brought it up a little earlier.
Yeah.
They one of the things that they were doing for some reason is they were drilling little holes in the tip of bullets and putting cyanide in them.
That's so weird.
Which is just so silly. I think that's I did.
It's
the term
when is
cyanide.
A bullet not going to just destroy you.
Exactly. Taking two forms of definite death and
because the thing is the only way you're not going to kill someone is you almost have to be really good at aiming in a non-lethal spot like the arm or hand, and even then or the leg, but it's you still can just kill someone that way.
Yeah, dude, we'll do a lot. So we can do a lot with this story. It's pretty intense, but that was just one fucking I mean, the word cyanide bullet is a cool band name.
It's a band name, yeah. That's badass.
But in reality, all it did was diminish the power of the bullets, actually, which maybe was a good thing. They didn't need that much power, I guess, but
it's so interesting.
Pretty interesting. They do.
What else? Is there something else they're maybe trying to kill?
Yeah, well, it was
monster hunters.
Yeah,
trying to kill werewolves.
They're being that was just a really good thing.
I don't know. That's
that's
weird. When you get
into maybe doing with
it's something you do if you are you're too good at selling weird street drugs.
Yeah, you're I was gonna mix
crack or something.
You know what? I do sell bullets and poisons. I might as well mix them up.
All right, guys, we gotta make cyanide bullets now. Mm-hmm. We gotta make cyanide bullets. It's the only way. Just tinkering with shit. It's for no reason. Somehow just got your hands on some cyanide for some fucking reason.
Just silly.
Just from the dark, black markets.
So we're getting near to the end here. I just before we close it out completely, I wanted to give a quick shout out to let's see, it's called In Between Paranormal, or I should say The In Between Paranormal. Mm-hmm. This is a different podcast. They're giving me a free sweatshirt. So thanks guys. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Or they, them. So I'm going to just say folks, I guess, on that one. Yes, I'm excited about the sweatshirt. I'll rep that for sure. And maybe we can do a little tradesies on some audio at some point.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it for there.
Sweet.
Anything else, Doss?
Shit, I don't know. Not really.
I did. One thing I
W?
heard. Well,
shout out W again.
God, G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer. I heard that somewhere. I thought it was kind of neat. Anyway, yeah.
That's cool.
Let's see. So yeah, just on that note, rate us 5 stars.
5 stars
everywhere.
Only, baby.
No less, and feel free to leave a comment where able, and but always 5 stars. Pumpkinhillradio@gmail.com. You can give us a direct line, and anything you need to say. Also, there should be a link. Yeah, exactly. If you got anything on the black dogs or anything paranormal, we will hear you out. I don't even need to say it on the pod if you don't want me to. I just like to collect this stuff. Let's see. W.GG.
W.GG.
Check out that partner.
They
did great for us today. We drank it up.
Liked it.
And it was good.
Tastes good.
It tastes good.
Tastes really good.
We went and got seconds during the break.
There's a lot of those pre-workouts and shit that make you feel the same, but just don't taste good at all. This
And
is
honestly,
like
this
really nice.
I like the feel of this one better, not to be.
No, yeah.
I don't have
It's
that much
like
of
not too much, but
Yeah.
it's like enough where I'm like, I don't feel like I need to like run or like lift a bunch to like feel normal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can just like sit and get.
I'm not like
done.
I'm energized, but I'm not vibrating right now.
Yeah,
which
I
is
can like sit and like do.
'Cause that's what
work on
burns
the
you out is when
computer
you're
or,
like jittering
read or,
like that. It's like not good.
Yeah.
All right, well, w.gg, use special code
Focused.
StarMother to get 10% off at checkout. You know how to do it.
It's worth it.
Pumpkinhillradio.etsy.com. You can
StarMother,
get
baby.
pins, prints, and more from different things. I got Jason masks. I got
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla prints. I got Pokemon pins.
Just join the cult.
Yeah, join the cult. And there's a
Building
link,
an army.
There's a link to Texas somewhere on this document as well. So go ahead and in the link to the, there should be something. Well, anything else, Dawes? I think we're good.
Yeah.
This has
I don't
been
know if- I don't know
Pumpkin
much
Hill Radio.
Fuck yeah.
Your host Travis Wormwood, Dawson Trailer.
We're out here.
We're out here.